Hello everyone, welcome to Azure App Services series. From this episode, I'm going to talk everything about Azure App Services. We'll talk about hosting plans, deployment plots, cost analysis, budgets, configurations, everything that you need to know for Azure App Services. We'll talk about it. To get started, I'm going to deploy my Bookstores application to Azure. Bookstores is an ASP.NET Core Web API project with SQL Server as backend. And if you want to know how I build this, the link is in the video description. It's a YouTube playlist and the link is in the video description. And I also deployed the SQL Server on Azure. So if you want to know how you can migrate your local SQL Server to Azure SQL database, you can check the link in the video description too. Okay, so the first thing that we need to make sure is to sign in with your Azure account in your Visual Studio. First, you'll have to create Azure account, of course, and then in Visual Studio, I'll let you know how you can sign with your Azure account in your Visual Studio. Then we'll create a web deploy publish profile, which will be an Azure profile. And if we publish using this profile, it should publish as an Azure App Service on your Azure account. While we create this publish profile, we'll select a free hosting plan, so you don't really have to pay for anything. And then we'll talk about how we can configure our Azure SQL database into this publish profile so that, in local, you'll still have your local SQL server as testing. And when you deploy your ASP.NET Core Web API in production, it'll use production database. After publishing our ASP.NET Core Web API, we'll talk about how you can scale up through Azure Portal, and then we'll talk about some of the configurations that you can do through your portal. Okay, so to get started, first I want to show you how my portal looks like right now. So I'm going to go to my Azure portal, and you can see that if I go to my all services here, there are only two services. One is a SQL server, another is SQL database. So to deploy the app, I'm going to go to my Visual Studio, and I'm going to make sure that I have my Azure account signed up in my Visual Studio. Another way you can check, or there is, there is this another way of Azure account to check, is go to your settings and check your account selection, and here you should see your Azure account as Microsoft account signed in your Visual Studio. Okay, let's run this app and see how it looks like first, and then we'll publish this app to our Azure account. So I'm going to click on run. And it's very basic web API where, it goes to API, some path, and it pulls up some request and shows the data in JSON format. This data is coming from SQL Server, and like I mentioned, we have already migrated our SQL Server to Azure database, and we'll use that Azure database to show the data when we actually deploy this local application into Azure. I have also integrated Swagger, so the Swagger looks something like this, so that it gets easier to test our application. We can try out and see that our application is working fine. So once we deploy our application, we should be able to go to a public link and then use Swagger, test through Swagger, and see if everything is working fine. Okay, so I'm gonna close this and then go to my my Visual Studio, and here I'm gonna right click and say publish. Here you can see that I already have a folder profile, but we're going to create a new profile for deploying this application to Azure as App Service. So I'm going to click on new here, and then you can see that there are multiple targets that Visual Studio has listed down. See, the UI of the publish will change depending on which version of Visual Studio you're using. I'm using preview, and that's why it's looking something like this, but the parameters are going to stay the same. So we'll mostly concentrate on the parameters. If you're getting confused about UI, then we can, I can help you out in the comment section. So yeah, here I'm going to select Azure and then click on next. And then today I'm going to select Azure App Services for Windows and click on next. Here it will, connect to your Azure account and list down the subscriptions that you have, resources that you have, and then you can select any resources which are already there if you want to deploy your app services. See, it's saying that select existing or create a new app service for deploying your web API. We do not have any app services already in our account, so it isn't showing anything here. But if there are, you can already use that and then publish on it. Subscription is basically something which is mapped to your billing account. So when you and that's the reason why you have to select your subscription. When you create your Azure account, it creates Azure Subscription 1 as your default subscription. I have renamed it to Bookstore Subscription so that it looks nicer. And I suggest that, you should have subscription by the project so that, it gets easier to see how much you're getting billed for a particular project. Okay, so here we don't have any app services. So we are going to create a new app service. So when I click on app service, Visual Studio gives me another pop-up where, I have to select the name of my app service. I have to select the subscription. Then I have to select the resource group and the hosting plan. Let's start with the name. By default, Visual Studio gives the name of the project and then the date and time when you're creating this app service. I don't like this format, so I'm going to get rid of that. But make sure that your name is globally unique. See, this name is not available. Please choose another name. So I'm gonna remove this web because it doesn't really make sense. And you can see that Bookstore's API is available. And then I'm going to select subscription as Bookstore subscription, and then resource group is production resource group that I created in my last episode for migrating SQL database to Azure. So I'm going to select that resource group. Resource groups are mapped to your subscription and subscriptions are mapped to your billing account, and that's how you get billed. And you can either create a new resource group here, or you can, select the existing resource groups which are already there. Okay, so in hosting plan, this is very important step because here I want to select a free one. There are basically 3 options depending on how big your app is. You can either select free or shared, or you can select basic, standard, premium, or isolated. And these are the hosting plans will let you scale up your application by your virtual machines. And we'll talk about this when we go on in the series. I don't want to, confuse you with all the hosting plans concepts. But as we go into the series, we'll talk more about the hosting plans, and I'll tell you how you can scale up if you have to. But today we are going to select a free plan so that we don't get charged for the web API that we are deploying in Azure. So here there's asking like, what's the name of your plan, and what do you want to, which location you want to select one, and what should be the size. So I'm going to change the name of the plan. I'm going to remove this date time format and have Bookstore's web API plan. And I'm going to select the location into East Coast because that's what's closer to me. And the size, like I said, there are so many options that you can select to calculate the compute power of your app service. And today we are going to select free because we don't want to get charged today. And as we go into the series, we'll talk more about how you can scale up. So let's select free, and then I'm gonna and that's all you have to select to create the app service. I'm going to click on create here, and it will create an app service which will have some default pages, and we'll explore that. But when I click on create, it takes a couple of minutes. Azure takes a couple of minutes to create this app service on my account. And then so I'm going to pause the video and then come back when this is done. Okay, so I'm going to click on create here. Okay, so now it created the app service. You can see that now, Bookstore's API is the API which it created. There are some deployment slots. We'll talk about deployment slots in the series, but you can see that it shows Bookstore subscription as the subscription, and then there is a resource group which is Bookstore's API. Okay, so when I click on finish, it will actually create a profile, a published profile, which we'll use for deploying our web API. So if I click on finish, it will create that profile. Awesome, right? So let's go to our portal first and see what all things have happened there, and then I'll come back to Visual Studio and show you what what you need to do to to deploy your web API to Azure. So if I go to my Azure portal and I refresh here, you can see that it added a web API and a web API plan, which is a free plan. I'm gonna go to my Bookstores API here, and you can see that it's running. It's asking us to stop. If you want to, you can delete it. You can get the published profile, and it's telling you what app service that you're using. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to click on this. This is the Bookstores API Azure website. This is the URL to our ASP.NET Core Web API, which we haven't deployed yet, but I'm going to click on this and see what happens. So if I click on it, it's saying that, hey, app service developers, your app is up and running. Time to take the next step and deploy your code on this URL. And you can see that it supports Node, Java, Python, PHP, Ruby, and we are going to deploy our .NET Core application. So, our application is up and running. Okay, so let's go back to our Visual Studio and now publish this Bookstores API into our Azure App Service. But before I publish, you can see that it's showing a warning saying that there are some warnings in following section which are called as dependencies. And here you can see that it's detecting Bookstores DB as a connection string. So if I go to my app settings, you can see that I have Bookstores DB as connection string. And that's what it's saying, like, okay, you're deploying this web API to Azure, but there are some connection strings that you're missing. Make sure that you have correct connection string when you're deploying this application to Azure. But you can configure this. See, if I click on this configure here, it will open this pop-up where it's saying that, okay, configure your dependencies. And like I said, my SQL database is already on Azure, so I'm going to select Azure SQL database and click on next, and here it will detect the Azure SQL database here, which I can select and click on next, which then it will configure that database for our production region. And if I'm running my local server, if I'm running my local app, it will use my local database. That's awesome, right? And if you do not have database, you can create a new SQL database and run the scripts, schema and database and data scripts to create that SQL database if you do not have one. Okay, so I already have one. I'm going to select this Bookstores prod database and click on next. Here it's going to ask me the username and password which I created while creating the SQL database, Azure SQL database. And if you enter that, then it should configure itself. So I'm going to enter the username and password here. And then click on next. And it's going to install some NuGet packages and some secret stores to make sure that, Azure SQL database is going to get used properly. So if I click on finish, it will go through some of the things. It'll try to install some of the packages that are they're already installed, but it'll just make sure that they're installed or not. Okay, so I'm gonna close this, and now we are all set. Now if we publish our web API, then it should get published on our app service that we just created, this app service that we just created. So I'm going to go back to my Visual Studio and click on publish. It will start building the web API, and then it will connect to my Azure account, and it will select the app service which we just created and deploy this web API on that app service. Sweet. So after deploying, I'm going to minimize this. After deploying, you can see that, the build was succeeded, the publisher, it did not fail, it was all succeeded, and it restarted. It started the app where we deployed our application, and that's what, it started. So if I go to my Chrome, and it's the same URL, bookstoresapi.azurewebsites.net, and you can see that it's not really showing anything. That's because our API takes a different path. So if I say Swagger here, it will go to the Swagger which we integrated in our Bookstores API. And if I try to test out my my SQL database, which is a production SQL database, it will connect. It'll try to wake up my my SQL database, and I'll see if it's going to it takes a little bit of time. Sometimes it doesn't work because the SQL server that I'm using, it's a serverless database. So I'm gonna click on this multiple times to wake it up, and then see if this works or not. Let's click on it again and see if it's going to work or not. There you go. Okay, so you can see now that this connected to my Azure database, and then pulled up the data from that database instead of pulling it from, it cannot connect to your local machine and get the data, but it connected to my Azure database and then got the data from it. Awesome, right? So yeah, that's how you deploy your web API to Azure App Services. Before I stop the demo, I have a couple of things that I want to show you. So this is our app services. So if I go to my configuration here, where you can stop your services, delete and do everything. But if I go to my configuration here, you can see that I have this connection string. And this connection string, you can change that to any other database if you want to. You can delete it, edit it if you want to. And there is another thing that I wanted to show is the scale out. Scale out, you can check it from your web API plan. If I go to scale out, actually, let's go to scale up. Yeah, okay. In scale up, you can see that there are different options that you can select to increase the compute power of your app service. And this is what we're going to talk about in our future videos. And we'll talk about, what you should select for how much load you have on your app service, and what infrastructure that you select, and what's the shared infrastructure, what is isolated, what is production, what is basic, what is premium. We'll talk everything about that when we go into the series. We'll also talk about deployment centers, deployment slots, how you can do cost analysis, how you can set budgets. We'll talk everything about that in this series. Okay, so before I end the demo, I'm gonna there's going to be a question of the tutorial for all the tutorials that I'm going to make. And in this tutorial, the question is, in which category app services fall into? Is it infrastructure as service? Is it platform as service? Or is it software as service? Or none of the above? So people who comment and give a good answer, if their answer is liked by the community members, then that answer will be pinned and highlighted on the tutorial. So give it a comment and tell me which one it is, which category app services fall into. If you have any other questions, you can reach out to me on Twitter or Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.